নমস্কাৰ বন্ধু বান্ধৱীসকল ওয়েলকাম টু কম্পিটিশন কেয়াৰ কাৰেণ্ট এফেয়াৰ্স ডেইলি কন্টেন্ট সমূহলে আগবঢ়া আগতে বলক আজি কোড অফ দ্য ডে টু চাই লওঁ Failure is an important part of your growth and developing resilience by Michelle Obama and this quote is so much significant for all of us so আমি কিবা আসলতে ৰামধেনু চাবলে হলে অলপ হলো বৰখনৰ প্ৰয়োজন নহয়নে ঠিক তেনে ধৰণে আমাৰ জীৱনটো মিনিংফুল বনোৱাত বা এটা ডেপথ দিয়াত এই ফেইলাৰৰ প্ৰয়োজন কাৰণ যেতিয়া আমি ফেইলাৰৰ সন্মুখীন হ'ম তেতিয়া it will help us to instill some of the virtues of life right আমাৰ কিছুমান গুণ আমাৰ মাজত গঠন কৰিবলৈ হেল্প কৰিব say suppose patience হওক courageous হোৱাই হওক বা hard working হওক আৰু আটাইতকৈ important it helps us in developing resilience right resilience simply means হওক আপুনি যদি কিছুমান গোল আপুনি ভাবি থৈছে right আৰু আপুনি নেৰানেপৰা প্ৰচেষ্টা চলাই আছে কিন্তু আপুনি ভবামতে কিছুমান ৰিজাল্টস নাপালে তেতিয়া আমি most of us wish to just sit back right যে এই মই ভবামতে নহলে দেখোন we are such a failure কি কৰিম এতিয়া কিন্তু যেতিয়া আপুনি এই ফেইলাৰস বিলাকে আপোনাৰ মাজত এই ৰিজিলিয়েন্ট হ'বলে শিকাব right এই গুণবিলাক আপোনাৰ মাজত দিব তেতিয়া কি হ'ব it will help you to fight back again আপুনি আকৌ bounce back হ'ব পাৰিব দুগুণ উৎসাহেৰে হয়নে এই ৰিজিলিয়েন্ট হোৱা হেতুৱে হৈছে মহত্ব যে no matter how many times you fall but being resilient will always help you to fight back again right and ultimately apuni jitu apni bhabisile the desired results will always be in your hands right therefore failure is an important part of your growth and developing resilience also actually failure is a part of success only right okay আৰু এইখিনি হৈছে আজি টপিক সমূহ যেবোৰ আমি ডিসকাস কৰিম আৰু আমাৰ ফাৰ্স্ট টপিকটো লোৱা হৈছে নিউজ অন অল ইণ্ডিয়া ৰেডিঅ' India calls for comprehensive reform of United Nations structure আৰু এই টপিকটো very important from GS paper 2 আৰু যিসকলৰ PSIR আছে তেওঁলোকৰ বাবেও এটো important topic হৈ পৰিব ঠিক আছে কাৰেন্ট নিউজটো চাওঁ বলক Recently, Jijan Amar Defense Minister Hoy Rajnath Singh, he urged reform of United Nations at the plenary session of Moscow Conference of International Security 2022. ঠিক আছে এটো আসলে একটা মেজর syllabus of our civil services examinations right APSC হোক বা UPSC হোক বহুত important একটা syllabus হয় ইয়াত আসলে ইন্ডিয়া জেনেকে এটা পার্মানেন্ট সিট লব চেষ্টা কৰি আছে ৰাইট হেতু সন্দৰ্ভত আসলে এই টপিকটো হয় আৰু ৰিসেন্টলি আমাৰ ডিফেন্স মিনিষ্টাৰে আৰ্জ কৰিছে টু ৰিফৰ্ম ৰাইট এটা যেহেতু আমি ইউনাইটেড নেশন ৰিফৰ্মৰ কথা পাতিছো হেকানে আমাৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হৈ পৰিব এবাউট জেনাৰেল এছেম্বলি যেটো উংগা আমি কং ৰাইট ইউনাইটেড নেশনস অফ জেনাৰেল এছেম্বলি আৰু আটাইতকৈ সিগনিফিকেন্ট ইউনাইটেড নেশন সিকিউৰিটি কাউন্সিল UNSC যেটো ৰাইট ইয়াৰ বিষয়ে অলপ ভালকে পঢ়িলম বলক General Assembly ki hoy UNGA jitu hoy right it is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations right ami janu United Nations sota principal organ ase ki hoy eta hoise unga ami patisu ditote hoise Security Council Economic and Social Council jitu ECOSOC kong tarso Trusteeship Council International Court of Justice and UN Secretariat these are the main principal organs of United Nations right our General Assembly it is one of the 6 principal organs right our General Assembly we can loosely call the Parliament of the United Nations organization some decisions like budget admission of new members and peace and security are taken by 2/3 majority eto mon koribo 2/3 majority decision loy to be passed other decisions require a simple majority right jito budget hog by admission of new members e hog peace hog security hog yar hondobo 2/3 majority dorkar hoy aru baki bilakor kane eta simple majority die pass kora hoy thik ase okay that's what United Nations General Assembly also make key decisions for UN including appointing the Secretary General on the recommendation of Security Council electing the non-permanent members of the Security Council and approving the UN budget right ekita hoise major key decisions which are taken by the United Nations General Assembly right ebu thurmulke ami pati thoisu তাৰ পিছত আহি গৈছে United Nations Security Council, which is very significant, right? It is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations organization. It has a primary responsibility of maintenance of peace and security in the international community. It comprises of 15 members. Mon koribo 15 জন members থাকে and it can be divided into 2 categories. He 15 জন members দুটা category ভাগ কৰা হৈছে. প্ৰথমটো হৈছে permanent members. Permanent members কাক কয়? হে সকল P5 members বুলিও কয়, right? It comprises of US, Russia, China, France and UK, right? এইকেইটা হৈছে আসলতে P5 countries, right? US, Russia, China, France and UK আছে. And they have a veto power, which essentially means that passing of a decision in the UNSC must have each P5 members concurrence, right? Kiba eta proposal loi jodi ahe hetu pass koribole asole gutte P5 members or approval লৰকাৰ হ'ব, right? যদি এজনো যদি নিজৰ veto power use কৰি কিনে হেতু cancel কৰি দিয়ে, হে বিলটো কিটাও পাস নহয়। আৰু দেখা গৈছে হেতু আসলতে বহুতে P5 members সকলে কিছুমান through their veto power কিছুমান misuse কৰা দেখা গৈ আছে। হেখিনি আমি বিতমভাৱে ভালকে পাতিম। Okay, ইতে elected members যেটো হয়, they are 10 non-permanent members, right? They are elected by the General Assembly and have tenures of 2 years each. আৰু ইয়াতে আসলে যিসকল permanent members, ইয়াতে আমাৰ ইন্ডিয়া আসলতে নিজকে এটা seat লবলে চেষ্টা কৰি আছে বহুত সময়ৰ পৰা। Alright? হে বিষয় আসলতে এই গুটে টপিকটো হৈ পৰে। এটো হৈছে UNSC যেটো লোগোটো। Alright? Okay, now what makes India a potential candidate for UNSC membership? Etu joti ami sao, ami gom pam protomote is representing the developing world, right? India is the undisputed leader of the third world countries as reflected by its leadership role in the non-aligned movement and G77 groupings. Ami dekhi aisu ki dhorone India from the non-aligned movement onwards our G77 grouping on keneke he third world countries or babe hoday matmati ahise, hoine? And therefore India's inclusion in UNSC will strengthen India's stature as a moralistic force for the developing states and help in making UNSC more democratic, right? Tar pisor ai goise global benefits. Yet ami dekhisu keneke India itia eta leadership qualities dekhaise, right? In terms of mitigating the climate change, jeneke panchamit strategy dise, right? Ita dekha jay kiman khini asolte India korise for the mitigating climate change. Say suppose jito solar power panel bonaise, floating solar power panel and bahut khini asolte kisman initiative anise, right? Tabisor ahi goise even the concept of making India is suffixed with the make for the world. India is a pool of skill and talent and is proven global asset. Thus, India is not only an ancient and civilization nation, but also a democracy which operates under the rule of law and free market and has maintained peace-loving nation reputation with a very limited geography of conflicts, right? Tapisor is a role in the international affairs and it is very significant. কিয় কাৰণ দেখা পোৱা গৈছে ৰিসেন্টলি যেতিয়া আমাৰ পেন্ডেমিক হৈছে বা এই ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জে হক বা ধৰক এই ইউক্ৰেইন ৰাছিয়ান ওয়াৰৰ কাৰণে যেটো ফুড ইনসিকিউৰিটি চ্যালেঞ্জ এটা হৈ পৰিছে, ৰাইট? হে সবতে আমাৰ ইন্ডিয়া আসলে গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ ভূমিকা এটা পালন কৰিছে। হে পেন্ডেমিকৰ সময়ত সবকে আসলতে হে ভ্যাকসিন প্রভাইড কৰাত সহায় কৰিছে। এনেকা কিছুমান পুৱাৰ কান্ট্ৰিজ সাপোজ আফ্ৰিকা তেওঁলোককো আসলতে হে ভ্যাকসিন দিয়াত সহায় কৰিছে। তাৰপিছত ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জত আমি পাতিছো কেনেকে পঞ্চামৃত স্ট্ৰেটেজি দিছে, ৰাইট? তাৰপিছত অলসো আমাৰ ভাৰতৰ দ্বাৰা এটা প্ৰপোজাল গৈছিলে যেনে ধৰণে আমি যেটো সোলাৰ পাৱাৰ হাৰ্নেস কৰিব পাৰো, right? তাৰপিছত যেটো এতিয়া ইউক্ৰেইন ৰাছিয়ান ওয়াৰত যেটো ফুড সিকিউৰিটি ব্ৰিজ হৈছে তাত ইন্ডিয়া আসলতে উইথ এটা সাপ্লাই কৰি আছে বহুতখিনি। এটা বৰ্তমান বাৰু উইথটো এক্সপোৰ্ট কৰা ব্যান কৰি দিছে, কিন্তু হে সময়ছোৱাত বহুতখিনি হেল্প কৰিলে টু মিটিগেট দোজ চ্যালেঞ্জেস, right? ইয়াত হেকানে দেখা পোৱা গৈছে ইন্ডিয়া সব ফালৰ পৰা আসলতে হেল্প কৰি আহিছে ৰাইট আৰু আটাইতকৈ যেটো জাস্টিফাইড ডিমান্ড হয় ৰাইট এটো আপুনি জনা উচিত যে ইন্ডিয়া মেক্স এ নাম্বাৰ অফ ক্লেইমছ টু জাস্টিফাই ইট ডিমান্ডস প্ৰথমতে হৈছে ইন্ডিয়া হ্যাজ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ডস লার্জেস্ট পপুলেশন ৰাইট soon এটা ওয়ার্ল্ডস সেকেন্ড অবা the most largest population হৈ যাব right কাৰণ চাইনা কিটা বাইপাস কৰিব ইন্ডিয়া very soon and is the world's largest liberal democracy হয়নে তাৰ পিছত আহি গৈছে it is also the world's fifth largest economy to মন কৰিব and the third largest in terms of purchasing power parity as of 2022 হয়নে fifth largest economy হয় world plus in terms of যদি purchasing power parity যেটো PPP কম সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত third largest হৈ আছে right okay so India is the largest contributor of troops to the United Nations peacekeeping mission with 7,860 personnel deployed with 10 UN peacekeeping missions as of 2014 after Bangladesh and Pakistan all three nations being in the South Asia. So India has contributed more than 180,000 troops, the largest number from any country, participated in more than 43 missions and 156 Indian peacekeepers have made the supreme sacrifice while serving the UN missions, right? Okay. এইখিনি হৈছিল আসলে এলিজিবিলিটি বা আমাৰ পটেনশিয়াল আমি কিয় পাব লাগে কিন্তু এটা বৰ্তমান যেটো মেইন ৰিজন হয় আমি কিয় ডিমান্ড কৰি আছো ৰাইট কাৰণ প্ৰথমতে আছে veto power কাৰণে veto power has been exclusive domain of P5 members India could use the veto power to defend its interests say against Pakistan just like Russia did in the last over the civil war in the Ukraine right এটা যেটো ৰক্ষকে ভক্ষক হৈ গৈছে ৰাছিয়াই যেহেতু Russia is one of the P5 members হেকানে যেতিয়া ইউক্ৰেইনক ইমান এনেকা war হৈ আছে হেখিনিত আসলে কিছু বহুত ৰিজলিউশনস আনা হৈছিল পাস কৰা হৈছে কিন্তু গুটেখিনি আসলে Russia being the P5 member one of the P5 member গুটেখিনি আসলে ক্যান্সেল কৰি দিলে right defend কৰি দিলে কাৰণ নিজৰ ইন্টারেস্ট বচাই ৰাখিলে ঠিক সেই ধৰণে যদি আমি হে veto power টো পাই যাও আমি জানো কাৰণ কাশ্মীৰ আমাৰ ইন্টিগ্ৰেল পাৰ্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়া হয় সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত বাৰে বাৰে এটো ইন্টাৰনেশনাল এটা ইস্যু মনোৱাত চেষ্টা কৰি থাকে পাকিস্তানে আমি যদি P5 মেম্বাৰ হৈ যাও তেতিয়া P6 হৈ যাম মেবি তেতিয়া আমি আসলে আমাৰ নিজৰ ইন্টারেস্ট বুলাক নিজে ৰক্ষা কৰিব পাৰিম ৰাইট তাৰ পিছত আছে প্ৰেষ্টিজ এছ'চিয়েটেড The sheer prestige associated with the permanent membership of the multilateral forum, India's elevation will also be an acknowledgement of its rise as a global power, ready to play a key role in the Council objectives of the international peace and security. Right? That's why I say advantages in the General Assembly. As a permanent member, India could take benefits of the type of majority required to pass a resolution requirement of approval of the United Nations Security Council, etc. Thus, the inclusion of India into UNSC will help in transforming its status from being a responsible stakeholder for following international norms, along with becoming a global rule maker. Right? Ekhini asolte reason why we are demanding the permanent member status. Right? এটা কি চ্যালেঞ্জেস আহি পৰিছে যত আমাক আসলে এই পার্মানেন্ট মেম্বার হোৱা পা অবস্টাকল ফেস কৰিব লগা হৈছে ইন্ডিয়া প্ৰথমটো হৈছে মেজৰ পাৱাৰ্স ৰিফিউজাল টু চেঞ্জ আ ইউনাইটেড নেশন ইনষ্টিটিউশন ৰাইট হে যিসকল P5 মেম্বাৰ্স আছে তেওঁলোকে আসলে আমাক ইনক্লুড হ'বলৈ নিবিচাৰে আমাক বুলি নহয় আন কাৰো নতুন কান্ট্ৰিজ বিলাকক আসলে হুমাবই নিবিচাৰে তেওঁলোকে with time ignores the emerging geopolitical realities, economic and technological progress that has happened since 1945. Right? There also is a lack of political will. Although there is a general agreement towards a change in the system, different countries have different perceptions of the requirement for the change. Right? Hetu eta issue ahi poise. Tar pisora ahi gose a coffee club. কফি ক্লাব যদি মই সিম্পল ল্যাঙ্গুৱেজত বুজাও এই যে কিছু মানুহ থাকে ন নিজেও আগ নাবাহে আনকো আগবাঢ়িব নিদিয়ে এই কফি ক্লাব তেনেকুৱা হয় সিহঁতে কি কৰে দে আৰ a informal group comprising 40 odd members mostly middle-sized states that oppose bigger regional powers grabbing the permanent seats সিহঁতে আন powers বিলাকৰ আসলতে countries বিলাকক হে permanent member হ'বলৈ নিদিয়ে কিবা নহবা কিবা obstacle create কৰি থাকে just like এই আসলে কফি ক্লাবত হুমাই আছে পাকিস্তান টাৰ্কি এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ কিছুমান দেশ সকল যি সকলে আসলে নিজেও গ্ৰোথটো নিবিচাৰে আৰু আন কান্ট্ৰিজকো হে ধৰক হে গ্ৰোথটো দিয়াত হতে উল্টা বাধাহে সৃষ্টি কৰে ৰাইট and this has been instrumental in holding back reforms to the United Nations Security Council over past 6 years এই কফি ক্লাবটো আসলতে এটা মেজৰ সেটব্যাক হয় Also, Chinese opposition. China, being a permanent member, blocks the growth of India becoming a permanent member. Right? Also, US withdrawing support. Present US administration is going away from its previous trajectory and opposing India's request. Right? There's a growth trajectory of India. It was a significant issue, but challenges. Yet, India's socio-economic growth could become a question in making the permanent member, right? Hetu eta asolte jitu amar socio economic growth khop etia challenging bili kobo lagibo, right? Karon bhalke ji dhorne bhaba hoise tenage hoane also covid e bahut khini manuhok poverty laru theli nile hekane etu eta question hoy goise hone eta amar Rajnath Singh e kyo koi ase je eta reform o dorkar hoy ase prothomote hoise sao UNSC exist hoite more than 75 years hoy gol right aru he homoy swajito geopolitical system asle hetu homoy jenoka power projection jar asle jenoka asle eta after 75 years totally change hoy gose right he homoy swa jikhini powerful state countries asle eta hoyto teoluk nohobo pare right hetu asle 20th century jitu geopolitical scenario hoy he hondobot he asolte enoka groupings bo banaise kintu eta after 75 years আজি 21st century hokolo change hoy gose right he khetrot asolte it's high time je teoloke with time a UNSC reform manok right aru prothomote ahi gose undemocratic UNSC jitu asolte he democratic essence to dekha poa jane a UNSC karon bearing two reasons North America and Europe other reasons are either underrepresented like Asia or not represented at all hoine amar Asia to underrepresent kore aru jikhol countries ase like Africa hok Latin America hok telokok to represent ei nokore right he hondobot asolte UNSC eta undemocratic eta roop dekhaise hoine tarso ei gose lack of global governance there is no regulatory mechanism for global commons like the internet space high seas right and no anonymity on how to deal with the global issues like terrorism climate change cyber security and public health hone ei khetra asolte UNSC befall hoise so misuse of veto power the veto power is used by the permanent 5 countries to serve the strategic interest or for themselves jito olob agote ami patiso since the first veto power ever used by the Soviet Union in the 1946 Moscow has deployed 143 times just imagine far ahead of United States 86 times Britain 30 times and China and France 18 times each hoti iman veto power use korise also we can say that jitu recently Ukraine Russian war hoise he khetrot UNSC eko help koribo noarile right eko positive eko dikh dekhabo noarile he khetroto fail hoise therefore it's high time je with time UNSC reform hok sak eta time on ji hokol ite jodi film star ami dekho eta time Amitabh Bachchan pura rule korise no doubt itiao teo ami sobe manu kintu with time notun asolte actors blako ahikini eta he rule kore hoine ঠিক তেনে ধৰণে ঠিক আছে এটা টাইমত a p5 countries black powerful asle but with time it আন countries black ahi ase it's high time je ami sobake eta chance diu hoine Therefore, it's UNSC এটা reform কৰা বহুত বেছি প্ৰয়োজন হৈ আছে, right? Our way forward আমি কি দিব পাৰো? The council must be made more representative of developing countries to provide leadership to the entire world, uphold global peace, security, and order to play a significant, meaningful role. India needs to have a permanent seat and an institution that was built to uphold global peace, security, and order. Right? Ekhini hoise kisman way forward. And based on this, a particular prelims based question has been brought up. Kindly a question to attempt koribo. Moving forward, our next topic to lua hoise PIB pra Indian Bureau of Mines. Our a topic to important hoy pore GS paper 2 and also GS paper 300. In a current news to sound bolok, in compliance with the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, Ministry of Mines entrusted the responsibility for creation of individual portal to the Indian Bureau of Mines through BISAG and Bhaskaracharya National Institute for Space Application and Geoinformatics, right? Ita baki jitu individual portal to Indian Bureau of Mines ekhini ami bhalke patim, kintu bortoman PM Gati Shakti ki hoy thulmulke sailom bolo. About PM Gati Shakti Master Plan. It is a 100 lakh crore project for developing holistic infrastructure. The project will become a source of employment opportunity for the youth and integrated economy. Right? The need to sound India needs to increase both manufacturing and exports. Every product that is sold globally from India is attached to India. Right? Benefits of the project. The Gati Shakti initiative will aid in the promotion of indigenous produces on a worldwide scale. Right? Jito amar Bharatote asote manufacture hua bostu khini all over the world asote promote kora hobo. It also expands the potential for additional economic zones in the future. Right? Aro about the social jito ami economic zones patiso. Agoto ami discuss koisu yet kintu thulmulke sailo. CEZ is a geographical region having economic laws that are more liberal than the domestic economic laws of the country, right? Baki countries bilako jenoka laws anibo enoka kisma regions bilako asolte okman relax koi dia hobo so that teoloke bhalke prosper korok. All right, this was all about the PM Gati Shakti Master Plan jito thulmulke ami patilu. Right? It's about Indian Bureau of Mines Sailom Bolok. Jito yar news to asile. The Indian Bureau of Mines, established in 1948, is a multidisciplinary government organization under the Department of Mines, Ministry of Mines, engaged in promotion of conservation, scientific development and mineral resources and protection of environment in mines other than coal, petroleum and natural gas, atomic minerals and minor minerals. Thik ase? This is all about the Indian Bureau of Mines. And it is headed by Controller General. IBM has 6 technical divisions with its headquarters at the Nagpur. What is the headquarters? It is in Nagpur. IBM has 4 general offices, 30 regional office, 2 regional or dressing laboratories and pilot plants spread over the countries. Thik ase? It a role played by IBM jodi sound, it help government in framing various rules, right? Various rules frame kor hohay kore like Mines and Minerals Act of 1948, Mineral Concession Rules of 1949, likewise, right? That's IBM was given a set of functions in 1950 and in accordance with it, the inspection of mines and mineral prospect became a regular activity. To mon koribo, it undertook detailed exploration of mineral deposits. Among the mineral explored by IBM were iron ore, limestone, dolomite, coal, copper and tungsten. With the passage of time, activities of IBM grew in depth and extent like technical consultancy and preparation of mineral maps, leading to complete inventory of the mineral resources. Right, with its pool of mining engineers, geologists and ore dressing engineers, it covered a wide variety of needs of the mining industry. Various publications related to mining and mineral industry were brought out, and two very important activities were undertaken by IBM are processing and approval of mining plans and schemes of mining for all the mines in the country, and second one being the implementation rules for the protection of environment. Right? Ekita hoise very important activities related with IBM. It functions homoho kotha jodi sao, objective of IBM is to promote systematic and scientific development and optimum utilization of mineral resources of the country, right? Both onshore and offshore. In order to achieve its objective, the charter of the functions of the Indian Bureau of Mines is as follows: to collect and organize into a database, right? All information of exploration, prospecting the mines and minerals in the countries in the shape of National Mineral Information Repository, and take steps to publish, disseminate the same, right? Functions as national technical regulator in respect of mining sector and lay down regulations, procedure and system to guide the state governments and to build up capacity in the system, both for regulatory as well as for development work at the central level as well as the level of the states, to establish institutional mechanisms of coordination between center, the states, mineral industry, research and academic institution, all the stakeholders, so as to proactively develop solutions to the demands and problems faced by the industry. Ekhini hoise functions, thik ase? Aru ketaman ase: to provide technical consultancy services, to participate in the international collaborative projects in the area of regulation and development of the mineral sector, to advise government on all matters relating to the mineral industry, and to undertake any such other activity as has become necessary in the light of development in the field of geology, mining, mineral beneficiation and the environment, right? Ekhini asolte ami imanke patisu karon এই বছৰ 2022 UPSC prelims ji hokole dise তেওঁলোকে নিশ্চয় এনেকা ধৰণৰ কিছুমান কোৱেশ্চন পাইছে, right? In India, what is the role of coal controller organization? সেই ক্ষেত্ৰত আসলতে এনেকা ধৰণৰ আকু কোৱেশ্চনস আকু খুদিব পাৰে। হেকিনে আপোনালোকে গুটে আসলতে কি ৰোল প্লে কৰিছে, ফাংচনস সমূহ কি হয়, যদি আপুনি অলপ কিউ যদি জানে তেতিয়া আপুনি answer black ulabole, it will help you, right? Aru thik tenedhore ei bosor jitu aisle asole ei question to apnar lokor karone dia hoise, you can attempt this answer question, all right? Aru our last topic to lua hoise the Indian Express oba punch pran bili jitu koy, and this topic is important from GS paper 2 perspective. The current context to sao bolok jitu asole Independence Day speech tar amar Prime Minister next 25 years, কাৰণ already 75 years clear complete hol, right? It next 25 years বহুত crucial বুলি কৈছিলে, কাৰণ তেওঁ এটা ambitious plan লৈছে যে next 25 years ত ইণ্ডিয়াক এটা developed country হিচাপে upgrade কৰিব, right? আৰু সেই কথাটো আসলতে punch প্ৰাণৰ ভিতৰত আছে, যেটো প্ৰাণ লং বুলি কয় নহয়, হিন্দীত কয় প্ৰাণ লিয়া হে মানে এনেকে বায়োলজি তো আমি প্ৰত্যেক বছৰ নতুন ৰিজল্যুশন কিছুমান লওঁ, ঠিক তেনেদৰে তেওঁ পাঁচটা প্ৰাণ লবলে আমাৰ সকলোকে কৈছে। কি হৈছে? প্ৰথমটো হৈছে টু ৰিজলভ অফ ডেভেলপ ইণ্ডিয়া, ৰাইট? দ্বিতীয়তে হৈছে ৰিমুভিং এনি ট্ৰেচ অফ কলোনিয়েল মাইণ্ডছেট। এটো বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হয়, এতিয়াও আমাৰ মাজত কিছুমান কলোনিয়েল মাইণ্ডছেট সোমাই আছে, ৰাইট? হে কৰাপশন হক, ৰেড টেপিজম হক, হে সময়ত যেনেকে ব্ৰিটিছ সকলে ইয়াৰ ৰুল কৰি কিনে এক্সপ্লইট কৰিছে, ঠিক তেনেধৰণে মানুহখিনি ৰিপ্লেস হৈ গ'ল, কিন্তু হে মানসিকতা একেই থাকি গ'ল, ৰাইট? ইটস হাই টাইম যে হে তেনেকুৱা কলোনিয়েল মাইণ্ডছেট বিলাক আঁতৰাই নিয়া, ৰাইট? টেকিং প্ৰাইড ইন আৱাৰ লিগেসি, right? Pride in our roots dito. This is strength of unity and fulfilling the duties of citizen with honesty. ঠিক আছে? এটা ইয়া যেহেতু এইকিটা হৈছে পঞ্চ প্ৰাণ দিছে আমাৰ সকলোকে, সব সিটিজেনকে এইখিনি মানিব দিছে। আৰু প্ৰথম যেটো কৈছে তেওঁ the first vow he said is for India to become a developed country in the next 25 years, right? এটা ডেভেলপ কান্ট্রি কি হয় নো? Different global bodies and agencies classify countries differently. The World Economic Situation and Prospects of United Nations classifies countries into three broad categories. Prothomete hoise developed economies, tarpiছত economies in transition and developing economies, right? To categorize countries by economic condition, the United Nations uses the World Bank categorization based on the gross national income, right? Gross national income per capita. On the basis of that, asolte hey economic conditions bilak UNA use kore so that temloge categorize kobo pare the countries, right? আৰু কিছুমান আসলে criticism face কৰিছে কাৰণ the UN nomenclature of developed and developing is being used less and less and is often contested, right? It can be argued that the UN classification is not very accurate and as such has limited analytical value, হয় নে? কাৰণ যি ধৰণে তেওঁলোকে আসলে classify কৰে সেইখিনি ইমান accurate নহয়, right? আৰু কিছুমান যিখিনি analytical value লয় সেইখিনি বহুত limited হৈ পৰে, alright? সেইকাৰণে কিছুমান criticism face কৰে। তাৰপিছত তেওঁলোকে কয় developed আছে there are 31 developed countries according to UN in all, right? অকল 31 countries develop হয়, বাকি developing all the rest except 17 economies in transition are designated as developing countries. Even though in terms of proportion, China's per capita income is closer to Norway's than Somalia's. China's per capita income is 26 times that of Somalia, while Norway is just 7 times that of China's. But still, man China temloke he developed country hisabe koboi nibisare, right? Loboi nibisare. Hekane ekhini asole bahut criticism face koise. It is jodi amar India position to sound as of now. India is a developing country. India is currently far behind both the developed countries as well as some developing countries, right? That's hard truth, right? Often the disclosure is on the absolute level of GDP. On that metric, India is one of the biggest economies of the world, even though the US and China remain far ahead. To be classified as developed countries, the average income of countries people matters more. Hetu mon koribo. And on per capita income, India is far behind even Bangladesh. Sauksun, we are behind Bangladesh as well. China's per capita income is 5.5 times that of India. Hetu mon rakhibo karon China's per capita income that is 5.5 times that of India, and the UK is almost 33 times. The disparity in the per capita income, it often shows up the overall quality of life in different countries. A way to map this to look at the score of India, the other countries on the Human Development Index to HDI, a composite index where the final value is reached by looking at three factors. Tinta factor upon bhikti kori value to unwa hoy. Prothom hoise health and longevity of the citizens, right? Ditiyota hoise quality of education they receive. Our third to hoise the standard of life. A tinta asolte factors upon bhikti kori HDI to ulwa hoy. Thik ase? All right. Ita challenges homo ki hoy to get India to make India a developed one. This is how 2018 a diagnosis report on India by World Bank said, even though India is the world's largest economy in purchasing power parity terms, right? Most Indians are relatively poor compared to the people in the middle income or rich countries. It kya hoise janene karon our countries he particularly 2% manu he iman besi rich hoy, right? From the rest of the poor people, karon jite average to ulwa hoy tete enoka feel hoy je gote purchasing power karon gote homogro bharatot bhitti kori asole ulwa hoy enoka ta suggest kore je purchasing power parity bahut beshi, kintu ami janu je 2/3 majority etiao rural area ase aru majority people are very poor here, kintu jikhini attack rich hoy they are the most rich one, right? Hekane jetu inequality gap bahut beshi vast hoy in India. 10% of India at most have the consumption level above the commonly used threshold of $10 PPP per day expenditure of the global middle class. Food share of consumption. Other metrics such as food share of consumption suggest that even rich households in India would have to see a substantial expansion of their total consumption to reach poor levels of poor households in the rich countries. So, kenuka status to it, right? That's why I go say inequality. India also faces the issue of deep-rooted inequality, which has climbed steadily over the last few decades, making room for inclusive growth smaller. Right? That's what I go say literacy. India is also home to the largest number of illiterate people in the world, with over 25%. Just imagine. Right? Of population still uneducated. 25% population of India is still uneducated, right? Just after 75 years of independence too. That's of women, one of the bleakest spot in the female labor force participation ratio. It has dropped sharply and steadily in the last decade. That's why I go say poverty. 2/3 of the people in India live in poverty. 68.8% of the Indian population live on less than $2 a day. Just imagine. Over 30% even have the less than $1.25 per day available. Ekhini asolte challenges ase, right? That will be very significant. Ki hoy ahar time on dekha jabo je 25 years ot amar Pradhanmantri jene dhorone eta dream dekhise je India develop kora, but ekko nai asolte jetia we used to dream big, then only we can achieve something, right? Thik tene dhorone let's see ami keneke move koribo paru towards a developed country. Aru yat asolte not only the government sector, asolte each and every individual, every stakeholder in our country has a better role to play, right? So basically eta positive role play kore, definitely ami hoyto hi developed country usor pasore jabo parim, hoine? Okay. And also the World Bank report 2018 report eta kwa hoise, the report had made a mention that what India could achieve by 2047, right? By 2047, the centenary of the Independence Day, at least half of its citizens could join the rank of the global middle class, right? By most definitions, this will mean that the household have access to better education and healthcare, clean water, improved sanitation, reliable electricity, a safe environment, affordable housing, and enough discretionary income to spend on leisure pursuits. But it is also laid out a precondition for it to happen. Fulfilling this aspiration requires income well above the extreme poverty line, and as well as vastly improved public service delivery. Hoine? Ekhini asolte World Bank e eta report dise 2018 ot jitu amar 100 বছৰ যেতিয়া আমাৰ ভাৰত স্বাধীন হোৱাৰ যিটো ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্স মানিব সবে তিতে আসলে ইন্ডিয়া কি achieve কৰিব পাৰে till that time, right? Yet কোৱা আছে at least half of the citizens, ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ at least 50% of its population they could join the global middle class. ইতিয়ালকে হৈ যাব, ঠিক আছে? আৰু for this to happen, it requires the income to be above the extreme poverty line, or jitu income ase tatke it should be exceed, and as well as vastly improve public service delivery eta dorkar hobo. All right? Okay, so with this aji amar session imanto samapto hol. Thank you for watching this video. Aru apunalokor kiba doubt aru jodi kiba feedback thake kindly amar comment section janabole napahoribo. Till then, bye bye.